Hello and welcome to our 9-month bookbinding course. This is called Bound by Hand. Our first month, we're going to talk about supplies and papers and terminology and all of the things that you need to get started. Very simply, if you have a cutting mat, something to cut with, paper, this is called an owl or a needle tool, a bone folder, some needles, some specific thread, and some paper. You can do very simple bookbinding with these tools. And no glue is required to get started. So that's the first month. We'll talk about the tools that you need. I'll share with you terminology and why it's important to understand bookbinding and how to create books that last. In February, we are going to talk about the pamphlet stitch and the double pamphlet stitch. This is an easy, versatile stitch. You can do it with 3, you can do it with 5, and you'll understand so much more. It truly is an easy, versatile stitch that anyone can do with even absolutely zero bookbinding experience. So it's really fun. I'm going to walk you through all the different things from small to large that you can make with just a simple pamphlet stitch or double pamphlet stitch. Another part of the course is to be able to fill your books, to think about creating your books with intention and the things that you want to do in it, whether it's to write, whether it's to collect recipes, to draw, doodle, watercolor, paint, jelly paint, whatever you want to do. We are making books with the intention of filling them as well or gifting them. And case papers it takes paint, acrylic paint, and some paste. There's different paste that you can use, and there's different papers that you can use. And this is so versatile. There is so much you can do with this. It's a lot of fun. You can use it for pages for inside your book. You can use it for the cover of your book. And I'll also talk about decorative papers, where to buy them, etc. In April, we're going to talk about the accordion book. An accordion book, it's a really fun, easy, simple way to fold paper to get a little accordion book. You can make them small, you can make them large. Inside, this is a piece of paste paper. On the cover, I've used a paper, it's called a look to paper that doesn't have a grain, and I'll share with you why that's a great paper and why it works. And then I've got a little book board on here to make it hard. You can make hardcover books, you can make soft cover books. In May, we're going to talk about the junk journal, or as I like to call it, I like to call it an art journal because I don't think it's junk. You may have seen junk journals all around the internet. People use, garbage bags and junk mail and ephemera and things like that. For my junk journal here, I chose some really wonderful decorative papers that I cut up and I collaged and I made this fun little book. And what's wonderful about junk journal is that nothing has to be specific. So if you don't have a lot of tools, maybe a shaky hand, you can't cut things straight, the junk journal or art journal is a wonderful way to go. We're also going to talk about, and I'll share with you, jelly plate painting or printing. Jelly plate, it's a little jelly plate. You use a brayer and some acrylic paint, and you can make just the most amazing, unique, one-of-a-kind papers, inner papers, cards, whatever you like. It's really, really fun. In June, we're going to be talking about lay flat art books. So this will get started with a little bit more technical practices where you'll need your bookbinding tools and maybe some better paper. This is watercolor paper, and I love sharing the lay flat books because then you can actually draw or write and create in them, and you don't have this hard spine getting in the way or books that won't lay flat. So for June, July, and August, and even in September, we're going to be getting into a series of different stitches that will help you create books small and large, hardcover and softcover, where when you use them or you work in them, they open up and they lay flat. So we'll be doing a lay flat art journal book, a small watercolor book, a large art journal, and a large watercolor book. There will also be a bonus class on this stitch, which is my favorite stitch, and you can do it very tidy, you can do it very messy, and this is called sewn on tapes, and there's ways to show the tapes, and there's ways to hide the tapes, and so that will be a bonus class. If you would, join us for our first class for free. It's going to be on Tuesday, January 28th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to start and go through supplies. You can meet me, you can meet the other participants in the class and ask your questions. You'll also get some history, and I'll do a fuller run through of what we're going to create in the class. You can join us by sending me an email, ravenartcenter@gmail.com. Let me know that you want to RSVP for the January 28th class. It will be recorded and available for playback. And throughout the course, all classes will be recorded and available for playback. There's also an extra Tuesday bonus day that I'm calling Q&A day. You can come in, you can do show and tell, we can go through the books. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be hands-on. You'll be able to see the community that you're working with, ask your questions, create your books, and if you choose, share it with the class. All right, if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out, and I look forward to seeing you on January 28th for our #1 class. See you soon.